A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Thursday, February 2nd. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. South Blooming Grove Mayor George Collage has been criticized of late for missing a number of village board meetings, and he explained his reasons in a wide-ranging exclusive interview with Mid-Hudson News. Critics have blasted the mayor for missing those sessions, but he assured the community is in good hands.
Like everybody else, I do have a personal life. I have my own obligations, but I tell you what, I do have a great staff. I have a very, very good people working with me in the village board. Therefore, I'm in close contact, daily basis with them, where no matter where I'm at, I am in touch with them, and they feed me all the information that I need to know.
Collage declined to comment on the village's development of Mangan Road cutting through county parkland, citing the issue is in litigation, and he acknowledged that work continues on Clovewood development despite the State Department of Environmental Conservation's issuance of a half a dozen stop work orders. In announcing her fiscal year 2023-24 executive budget yesterday, Governor Kathy Hochul, a Democrat, kept her promises to not raise income taxes while pushing for changes on the state's controversial bail reforms. Hudson Valley reaction comes from lawmakers and others. Assemblyman Carl Brabernick, a Republican who represents Western Orange County, was not buying that Hochul's budget will have a positive effect. He says state spending has been egregious since his first year in office nearly 8 years ago, but with a difficult inflationary period now impacting the bottom line of New Yorkers, he said he's even less inclined to ask to pay for more taxes. Assemblyman Jonathan Jacobson of Eastern Orange County, a Democrat, supports Hochul's additional funding to fight gun violence, education, expand workforce development, and fund clean water. But he doesn't support everything the governor proposes.
I am opposed, however, to the payroll tax increase that's being proposed for the MTA district, of which Orange and Dutchess counties are part of.
Freshman State Senator Rob Rollison, a Republican whose district straddles the Hudson River, says that the governor must take negotiations out of Albany's back room and expose them to the sunlight of public opinion for all to see. Orange County Executive Stephen Newhouse, a Republican, criticized the plan to withhold $9.8 million in federal funding to Orange County for Medicaid and increasing the MTA payroll mobility tax. As Central Hudson Gas and Electric continues to try to unravel its massive billing debacle, Congressman Pat Ryan yesterday called for its president, Charles Freni, to resign. Ryan made his appeal during a speech on the House floor, saying that the utility has, in his words, screwed over and ripped off the customers. He spoke of a farmer in Gardner of over $16,000 in bills, 6 times her usual bill, leaving her to contemplate suicide.
She described the debt which put her at risk of losing her family farm as a guillotine hanging over her head. I rise for the single mother in Kingston who told me she's afraid to cook for her 4 kids because turning on the stove means facing a gigantic gas bill. For the mayor of our city of Newburgh, who received a bill of $708,000 for a single month of electricity at his 3-bedroom family home.
Meanwhile, Central Hudson spokesman Joe Jenkins issued a statement saying that the utility continues to apologize for the unfortunate impacts that implementation of the new system have had on customers and key stakeholders. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji, 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
The city of Beacon is in excellent financial condition, Mayor Lee Kuriaku says. He made his proclamation during his first State of the City address delivered before the Common Council. He said the city's finances are doing quite well.
Beacon's financial position is the best in memory. Through my 20-plus years of service to the city as a council member and now as mayor, I have always been the taxpayer's fiscal watchdog, working to limit property tax increases while expanding services and investing in the city's infrastructure.
One major financial shot in the arm comes from his renegotiated sales tax agreement with Dutchess County, which puts $1 million in the city coffers this year. Mayor Torrance Harvey was at the White House twice in the last week at a U.S. Conference of Mayors session with President Biden, where he discussed his COVID-19 related funding bills that were passed into law, gun violence and hate crimes. The Newburgh mayor also met with Vice President Kamala Harris the following week, where she brought in Justice Department officials who the mayor said enlighten local leaders in attendance to the boatloads of money the government is making available to fight gun violence.
They just opened up grant applications actually very recent, like as of this week. So, I deferred some of that information to our commissioner, the police commissioner, police chief, and we're looking at those grants because their response was hundreds of billions of dollars in the Department of Justice for grants to do exactly what I had described, what our vision was for Newburgh and addressing gun violence.
Harvey said the vice president also addressed water issues around the country, including Newburgh's polluted water system. In honor of Black History Month, the Pan-African flag was raised yesterday at the foot of Broadway in the city of Newburgh. City Councilman Omari Shakur first brought the idea to the council, noting it represents the birth of the city.
We're coming together and we're lifting ourselves up and we're lifting the city up and we're lifting our communities up, and that's what this symbolizes, us coming together and rising together as a community and as a people and as a city.
Mayor Torrance Harvey said the city is being revitalized, and in his words, we're celebrating our multiculturalism and diversity. A pedestrian was struck and killed by Metro North commuter train 910 around 6:40 yesterday morning, an MTA spokesman said. The incident involved the southbound train occurring on the Harlem line near Dover Furnace Road between the Wassaic and Harlem Valley stations. MTA police continue to investigate. This is the second Metro North pedestrian fatality in the Hudson Valley this week. Earlier, a woman was struck and killed in Peekskill. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.